Hey guys, what's going on? Cruz here with the Tuo Cruz Cycling Japan YouTube channel. Today is actually kind of a little bit of a negative video, so if you guys don't want to watch a negative style video, just skip this one and we'll see you next time here with a normal video. But we've had a pretty big development in our lives recently that's going to have a pretty big impact on this channel. Those of you who are loyal followers on this channel who have been here for a while notice that we haven't really been following our regular upload schedule these last few weeks. So things were going pretty well for us recently. For example, Thuong got a job. I don't think we've talked about that here on this channel yet, but she got a part-time job. She's here as a dependent family visa, so she's able to work about 28 hours a week, and she just got a new part-time job. She was working her training. She was just about to get her first paycheck, which would be a huge help because so far we've just been being supported on my income, which isn't super high or anything. And so things are finally going good. We just got our cycling kits, our custom cycling kits. We had all these big rides planned. We just announced our Taiwan trip. My wife, who's Vietnamese by the way, was about to get her first paycheck, and everything was going really good. We had a decent amount of orders for the cycling kits around the world, and everything was just really positive, and we were kind of on a really high note. And then all of a sudden we got a phone call that kind of just sort of changed everything. And this is really personal, so we're not going to go into too much detail, but just give you guys the basics. And I'd like to ask you guys not to just be a little extra sensitive about this. Don't ask any insensitive questions and just leave it for what it is right now. But so basically what happened is one of Tuong's close family members passed away very suddenly and very unexpectedly. We don't want to go into detail about who it was at this point right now, so we'd ask for you guys to just respect our wishes with that. But we did both have to go make a sudden trip back to Vietnam and just put everything on hold. We've just, Tuong hopped on the flight, basically the next flight that she could get to go to Vietnam. I still had a few things that I needed to take care of here in Japan before going back there because we're in the end of the semester for my work. So I went the next day, and we've been in Vietnam for the last 2 weeks or so right now. I just got back to Japan. Here I am in our normal apartment, and it was a pretty intense last 2 weeks. Having to deal with the funeral customs is very different in Vietnam compared to what I'm used to, and I'm not used to funerals that much. I've only attended one in my adult memory, but it was a pretty rough 2 weeks to say the least. But so we were surrounded with her family in Vietnam, and just not in any shape to make any videos or anything new. So I did try and upload some new videos. So you'll notice we did still get at least one video up each week the last 2 weeks. But those were old videos that I'd filmed like way back and had already edited before going to Vietnam. So I just needed to upload those. And thankfully we were able to still get something up on schedule. But during that time, we haven't filmed any new videos. While we were in Vietnam, I didn't film anything because like the priority is of course spending time with family, being there with Thuong and her family, and just helping out in whatever way I can. So as for the bigger effects that this is going to have on us, so Vietnam has a couple quite different customs than what we have. For example, they have the shrine honoring the person in the house, and they light incense and sort of pray to them in that way. But they also have big ceremonies that happen, I believe, like the week after, 49 days after, 100 days after, and also, of course, 1 year after the 1 year anniversary. And these are kind of ceremonies that she needs to attend. And so we were sort of discussing what was going to happen, because if she comes back to Japan and needs to fly back to Vietnam every few weeks, like that's more than we can afford. Even if she came back here and worked part-time, she'd need a job that would allow her to just disappear every once in a while to go back for these trips, which just wasn't very realistic. We also had our Taiwan trip coming up in the next few weeks, which of course we're not really in the mood to like travel and enjoy ourselves right now, but so that was also on the verge of being canceled, and we're not sure if that was going to make if we were still going to be able to make that trip. But we had already put money on that. We already bought a non-refundable tickets and made some other reservations. So Thuong's not back here in Japan. She's not going to be moving back to Japan until the end of September. So right now it's about a month and a half away, so she'll be gone a little bit over 2 months or so, which is just what it is. But we've decided that we still want to make the Taiwan trip happen because like we mentioned before, we are considering moving there potentially in the future after my job contract ends here. And we want to experience that trip together. And we still haven't done our like honeymoon trip or anything like that since we've just gotten married about a half year ago now. And so we still want to make this trip happen. So basically, she's going to be flying to Taiwan from Vietnam. We're going to meet there, and I'm going to be flying to there from Japan like the normal plan. And we're going to meet in Taiwan. We'll be there together for about a week and a half now. Her trip's going to be a little shorter than mine. And then she's going to go back to Vietnam, and she's still going to be there with her family, helping them out. And then I'm going to come back to Japan because I have work here. As for our Taiwan trip, we've got a pretty good solid plan now of what we're going to do. So the first day, we're going to go straight from Taipei to Hualien on the east side. And we're going to cycle around there. There's a really big national park there, an awesome gorge, scenic area. Really excited to go check that out and cycle around there. We've arranged a rental bike with the Giant Bicycle Company, and they've got a pretty great program. I'm excited to make a video about that. And then we're going to cycle down the east coast to, I believe it's like Taitung. I'm not sure the correct pronunciation, but we'll cycle down to Taitung. And then from Taitung, we're going to take the train over to Taichung on the west side, and there's a couple bicycle factories. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to check any of those out, but we're also hoping to hop over to Sun Moon Lake, which a lot of you guys recommended for us to do, so we definitely want to check that out. Looking at some of the videos for that, Thuong was especially excited. She really wants to ride a boat while we're there. And after that, the plan is to hop back up to Taipei. And one of our subscribers here has actually kindly offered to rent out their extra apartment in Taipei, and they have spare bikes in their apartment, so we're going to have some bikes that we can ride and a nice place to stay in Taipei. So we're really excited to share that with you guys. And it looks like the Taiwan trip is good to go. So yeah, some bad news in here, but also some good news where we're trying to make the best of the situation and to make this work and to still be able to make these videos. As for this channel and for things moving forward, there's a couple things that we're considering changing. One thing that I really want to do is try and be more consistent and more frequent with these uploads while I can. And so that means my goal is to try and get about 2 videos up every week. But I realize like when something like this happens, a big life-changing thing, it just kind of like knocks you down, and there's nothing you can really do because you have to deal with the most important things in life first, like family's priority. And I'm going to try and be consistent with the schedule, try and get 2 videos up every week. I had a lot of video ideas in my mind, but like with Thuong being gone for the next few weeks, there's a couple of videos I wanted to make together, but now I can't make those because I have to wait for her to get back. But I do still have a couple ideas of videos that I can make with just me. While we're in Taiwan, I am planning to bring my laptop, so I do want to edit some of our videos a little bit as quickly as possible while we're there so you guys can get them up to date rather than getting them a little bit later. But at the same time, I still want to enjoy the trip, so I don't know if we'll be able to maintain that schedule. But regardless, after the trip is over, we'll hopefully have a lot of awesome videos that we'll be able to share with you guys. Another thing I wanted to mention is just a big thank you to everyone who's helped support this channel. We've had a couple new people joining us on Patreon this last month, which is just really great to see. And of course, all the people who've supported us buying the cycling kits and the t-shirts and everything. Thank you to all of you guys who've helped support the channel. Like, it really means a lot to see like that so many people care enough about this channel, about us, to just go out of their way to help support us to be able to make more content. And thinking about that, like, I want to make some more changes where we can give sort of something back to those people. So give some incentive back or some rewards back to the people who support us on Patreon or people who support us by purchasing our merchandise. And I'm trying to think of different ideas and ways that I can do that. And by researching some different strategies online, one thing that I came across was, for example, early access to videos without ads. So apparently you can upload videos on YouTube and have them unlisted, share the link on Patreon. So a big thing that I believe is I want to give access to all of our content to everyone, of course. But one thing I am considering is just having early views of the videos and try and getting like a week in advance. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you can have access to the video without ads by seeing that video. And then after the week is over, we'll change it to a normal listed published video so that everyone can view it and you'll get the normal YouTube ads and stuff or whatever. That's just one idea, but if you have any suggestions, any ideas of things that you would like to have as a reward, another thing that we're considering is doing live streams, like Q&A live streams, possibly with Thuong and I, once we're back together. and focusing on the questions that are asked by our Patreons or by the people who have supported us with our merchandise. So those are just some ideas, but if you have any ideas on things that you'd like to see or have as a reward if you're considering supporting us on Patreon or anything, please let us know in the comments. I'm still pretty new to this stuff, but just thinking about the support that we get from people, I do get the feeling that I want to sort of give something back, but at the same time not take away from anything from our general audience. We still want to have all of our content available for anyone to watch. So this solution seems to be the best of both worlds, where everyone still has access to our videos, but we can still give a little something back. Another thing we're considering is possibly doing like credits in the videos, but some of our patrons have mentioned that they don't want to be listed there. They just want to be anonymous. So we're not sure if that's something that people really want or desire. But anyway, those are just some ideas. I'm not quite sure how to really end this video, but despite all the bad news, despite all of the sort of unfortunate circumstances that we have going on right now, it's really tough on Thuong because she lost a family member. She was also another positive news that she just started working on her own channel right now, which is done entirely in Vietnamese. She's doing a pretty similar channel where she just introduces things in Japanese culture, learning Japanese, and just introducing it to a Vietnamese audience. She just started. She's still under 100 subscribers, and I'll add a link down below if you're interested, but most of you probably don't speak Vietnamese. But yeah, if you could if you want to share your well wishes or positive thoughts towards Thuong, please leave that in the comments. She reads every comment, and I'm sure she'd be happy to see that. As far as questions go, please try and refrain from asking any sensitive questions about this topic right now, since it is still a little bit too soon and too early for that. But yeah, basically just wanted to let you guys know what the situation is right now and why Thuong's not going to really appear in any videos anytime soon right now. But we will be making videos together once we're in Taiwan, and then there's a little break, and then hopefully by the time she's back in Japan, we'll still have a couple of videos that we're editing. So for you guys, I guess it might seem that she's not even gone. But yeah, we're both pretty positive on making the best of the situation and just moving forward, which is what you got to kind of do in life sometimes. Things don't always go positively or smoothly for so long. Life goes up and down, and this is just kind of one of those down moments, but we still have a lot of things that we're looking forward to in the future. So thanks again to everyone for your support on this channel, and we'll see you next time here on Tubo Cruise with some more regular cycling and life in Japan content.